Hello, it's John Laffer here, and this is my electronic poster for the end of this lifespan development psychology course that we took this semester. Bear with me here. My computer broke at the last minute as I was trying to do my finishing touches, and I'm kind of improvising right now. So, yeah, bear with me, and I'll try to make this as quick and painless and enjoyable as possible. Okay, so the first part I'm going to talk about is going to be Maslow's theory, Abraham Maslow, and I'm going to switch the camera around so you have something more enjoyable to look at than my face, and I'll kind of explain what's going to happen here because it's about to get real good. Okay, so Maslow's theory is a hierarchy. As you can see, it looks just like a pyramid. Okay, now I'm not going to just read these off to you and be boring. Of course, we're going to go with a little different approach. Seeing as my slideshow PowerPoint isn't active right now, we are going to make a donut. Okay, how's everybody feel about this? We are going to make not only just a donut, but a Krispy Kreme donut. That's everybody's favorite, right? Okay, so Maslow's hierarchy. Basically, as you can see from the pyramid right here, it is a 5-step kind of theory. Basically, as you see, is split up into 3 different sections. However, it is a very important and notable theory. So, in 1940s, Abraham Maslow kind of developed this as like a tool to kind of, be a motivational tool, but also be like a step-by-step, like, okay, you can't get to the next step without first completing the first step. So as you can see, right now we're going to make this donut, and so we're going to need some ingredients. Okay, we're going to need 5 ingredients to make this donut. All right, so bear with me here. Let me grab my ingredients here. All right, so the first step on the hierarchy, of course, is going to be basic needs, and that's going to be like food, water, warmth, rest, anything that basically you need to survive. So we're going to put that in the pan that's going to go in the oven to create our donut. All right. So these are, physiological needs. These are needs that everybody needs. Basically, it's like shelter, clothing. They're the most important. You need them to survive. Once an individual attains these needs and establishes basically a constant influx of them, then they can move on to the second stage. This happens kind of like in prenatal and birth stages because the parent, the mom, the biological mother, is responsible for taking prenatals, eating a balanced diet, anything that's going to influence the child, which the child ultimately gets nutrients from the mother. That's where this first stage is going to take impact on the prenatal and birth stage. So the first 2 years, that's going to be where the next stage comes in, the safety needs, and that's going to be like security, safety. We're going to throw that in the oven too. All right, I'm telling you, we will get a donut. So this is still one of the basic needs. All right. This is going to be, one of the primary concerns with the safety stage is that you have to pay attention to the child, to the development, cognitive, behavioral, basically, a security blanket, skin-to-skin contact, anything to make the child feel safe, secure, which most of the time in those first 2 years is going to be like a blanket, or just even the voice of parents helps big time. So middle childhood, kind of early childhood, come together with the third stage and the fourth stage, which is going to be belongingness, intimate relationships. We're going to throw some belongingness in there. Everybody loves belongingness. I'm not from Michigan, but apparently this is what everybody uses to make their donuts, and so we're going to throw that in there too. And this is going to be, relationships where a young child, a middle child starts to play with their friends. They start to interact with others, and kind of develop a self. So this is basically where friendships are established, maintained, and ultimately it provides a foundation for later stages. Later stages being, in this particular example, esteem, self-esteem, and that's really one of the most important ones in the process. This is going to be a feeling of respect, freedom. This is going to transfer not only from adolescence, but also into emerging adulthood, because basically this is going to be when a person finds themselves. This is one of the most important stages on Maslow's hierarchy, because you need to have some sort of feeling of accomplishment in order to get to the next stage. So as I mentioned earlier, you can't just skip stages. You can't just have food, water, and warmth and think you're going to have an intimate relationship with somebody. It's not going to happen. You're not going to have a nice place to lay your head at night and then have really good feelings about yourself when you haven't completed any of the other steps. So the next step here, not to make it too long, is going to be one of the hardest steps really to attain, in my opinion, the self-fulfillment needs, the self-actualization. This is where it's obviously going to happen more or less in emerging adulthood, late adolescence. This is going to be where you actually kind of get, your full potential. You start realizing that it's not all about you, and you may contribute to charity. You might actually be a productive member of society and not feel like you haven't contributed anything. I know that's why a lot of people who are famous, rich, they do contribute to charities, and they do hold private events, fundraisers, because they start to realize that it's not just about them, it's about generations to come. So of course we're going to throw in some self-actualization in there, which is this award-winning self-actualization. So it's actually really, really good stuff. Okay, we're going to throw this in there, and we're going to see if we can make a successful, healthy, supported human being. Let's see what happens. What do you know? Look at that. We got this nice glazed, soft, warm, crispy cream donut. So you see what happens when you actually put all of these together. You're going to get a nice, fluffy, wonderful donut. So this is why Maslow's hierarchy is really, really important. It develops a strong self-worth in a person, and it can be hard to attain all of the steps, but it's definitely necessary to put all the ingredients in order to achieve self-actualization. If you don't, I'm going to show you what happens. Alright, we're going to take out two of these ingredients. We're going to take out respect for yourself, freedom. We're going to take out belonging. Alright, everybody needs both of those things. You need to have a high self-esteem. You need to feel like you belong to something. So this is what you get. That's not a donut, okay? That's a peanut butter cookie. You want to be a Krispy Kreme donut in a world of peanut butter cookies, let me tell you. Alright, so it's really important to follow these steps and to try to honestly achieve self-actualization.